Hello, today we're going to talk about the heart, the courage, the bravery to dare to live your destiny, to dare to embrace your mission, and other small talk. So, hello, my name is Daniel Piatek, and I help you to live the life you're meant to live by unlocking, unlimiting, and unleashing your unique genius. So, I'm coming to you today from the Skype booth and the co-working space where I am in Bali, in Indonesia. So I'm here and I'm sharing a little bit of my journey to help to elucidate what it is I want to talk about today. And I'm finding that as I share with clients, as it comes up a little bit more in my journey, they're getting more out of that than I imagined they would be. So today I want to share a little bit of my journey to help you to get a glimpse into what it might look like for you to dare to take seriously that whatever it is that's calling to you in your life. So it can call in all kinds of different ways. So talked to a dear friend yesterday, and for her, it's just this knowing that there's these certain themes that she feels called to address, and she's not sure in what form. But in the world of everything that's possible, she's pointed in a very specific direction, but of course the details aren't there yet. And this is where many of us, including myself, can get stuck. So let me share with you a brief kind of run through of the last 6 months or so of my life, which in essence is kind of a microcosm, concentrated version of things that have happened to me my whole adult life. So back in August, some things happened for me. Boom, boom, boom. Three things, huge things in my life that were telling me these situations do not serve you, Daniel. And they were huge shocks, and they kicked me in the butt, which is often what life tends to need to do to us in order to get us to move. So in each of these situations, it made me realize that there were things in those situations that I had been overlooking, not addressing, that really needed to be. And long story short, I ended up changing my life radically. And again, this is something that's happened to me a number of times in my life, and where at some point life shows me, usually it's in the form of this situation, this person, this circumstance, this job, this whatever, this way of seeing myself isn't working for you. It's getting in your way. It's too painful. Do something. So I did. So I spent the next 2 months in a little cottage in the mountains, healing the hell out of myself. And for those of you that have looked at any of the stuff I've done about healing, there's a certain approach to it that I've taken, been trained in doing, which approaches releasing traumatic energy, the trauma lodged in our system from things in the past. And it was profound for me and really moved me through the pain. And I was able to see very clearly so much of what had been in the way that kept me in these situations. Now, this is my story. This may or may not fit for you. This may not be a theme for you, but we each seem to have a particular theme that we're working through in our lives. For mine, it's self-confidence, self-doubt. And so I was clearing out a lot of old energy around not being seen, not feeling heard, that it was scary, frightening, dangerous, to show up in a situation for who I am. So did that. Woke up one morning, and so I'm an intuitive. That's kind of part of what I do in life, but I feel like I know we all have that ability to understand or to know things beyond our ability to know how or why we know them. Let's put it that way. And I woke up one morning and I said, okay, your work's finished here. A couple days later, some things happened, and I knew I needed to contact an old friend. And before I knew it, I was in another part of the world. I was there for about 2 months doing a different kind of personal work, and again, just following my intuition, working on some things professionally to move me out, because this has been a theme for me, right? Is not being scared to show up. So used to be that I would come to make a video like this, even a year ago, I remember, come to make a video like this, and I would literally be on the floor crying my eyes out with a kind of fear and terror that would grip me, that didn't make any sense at all to my rational mind, but was very real to my nervous system and my body. So, so that doesn't happen too much anymore, thank God. So, so I was in Wales for a while, doing the work, making some connections, coming out of the healing, and moving me forward into the next phase of my journey of owning my destiny. So this started for me, I got to keep this short, Daniel. This started for me way back when I was 22 and withdrew from medical school. And then again at 28, when I knew I needed to leave my corporate job and was feeling a calling at that point to the ministry, and et cetera, et cetera. When I left the spiritual community that I was a part of for 10 years, of just feeling in situations, in a relationship back 5 years ago, that I realized was really not good for me, and that I needed to get out of that so I could do the healing of why I stayed in it for so long. Each of these moments in life saying, come on, there's more. You're not doing what it is that you came here to do. So that's something that's lived for me quite strongly my entire adult life, really kind of back to teen years, of knowing that I had a mission, knowing I came here to do something. And so maybe that lives for you. If it does, I'm going to ask you to take it seriously, because we're living in a time right now where we are being called up into really embracing it and finally daring to say yes to that calling in our heart. So I did that on another level back in August, and then it led me to Wales, and then I knew my time there was done, and I was getting the message that I needed to come to Bali, and it was like, oh, hell no. So long story short is I have a lot of history here, and it was probably the last place I would want to come on the planet. Well, maybe not the last, but really not something I would have wanted to do at all. And as I looked into it, it was becoming very clear this is where I needed to be. So I worked it out, and even though, yeah, I just worked it out, and I got here. Day 2, I didn't literally, but figuratively got on the ground and kissed the ground and thank you, thank you, guides, thank you, God, thank you, everybody, for getting me here, because now I've been here for almost a month, and my life is expanding, rolling forward, opening up in ways that I could not have imagined. And there's still a long way to go. But the point of sharing this story, at least one of them, is to share with you my experience, which has been my experience on and off my whole adult life. But because this process has been so concentrated for me in the last 5-6 months, there's a couple things that have become really a lot more clear. So one is, we have no idea what it is that we don't know. We literally have no idea what it is that we don't know. So when this kind of move inside of us, or this kind of life is pushing us because something's getting very uncomfortable, or either because the situation around us is uncomfortable, or because there's something that's out there in the future that's yet unknown that's pulling us, we feel uncomfortable. And people often get stuck. I have in the past, I still do get stuck in, how do I do this? I don't know. And the thing is that there is a way to do this where you just recognize, I can't figure this out. The limitations in how I see, how I think, how I see this situation, how I see myself, cannot come up with the answer, cannot come up with the way. So help me. Guides, God, my deeper self, however you want to see it, help me. Show me the way. Second is that when you get shown something, when you feel something, and this takes guts. it freaking took guts for me to say goodbye to my marriage, to say goodbye to an old friend and colleague, to say goodbye to, it takes guts. It takes courage. And if you need any help and support, then reach out for it. Reach out to me, reach out to somebody. Because I tell you, if this message is at all resonating for you, that urge to want to move, to get out, is likely only going to get stronger. That's the times we're living in. Don't put it off. So it takes guts, it takes courage, but take the step. Take the step that's right in front of you. Take the step that's right in front of you. Not the one that your mind can think of that's likely probably 10, 20, 50 steps down the road. Take the step that's right in front of you. And the third is this matter of the heart, of courage, because the heart, courage, bravery, compassion, it's like trying to catch up with my own understanding around this, because as I've gone through this process, my heart has broken a million times over. A million times over. For grieving the pain of situations that I had to leave, grieving the pain of the limitations that I was holding in myself and that kept me in prisons that I was healing myself out of. Compassion for the me of last week or a month ago. As I'm moving forward into greater freedom, greater expansion by following step by step by step what's being shown for me, that inner world gets more expanded. The heart comes more open and online. And it's the compassion for the me of a month ago, let alone 6 months ago. And letting my heart break, it expands, it expands. It's amazing because I see in the work that I do, the healing work that I do with people, is that it takes time oftentimes to get people over the hump because we've been so conditioned to be afraid of our own emotion, our own feeling, experiencing. And I tell you, it's the greatest gift to allow yourself to feel because it gives you information. You feel, you grieve, you let go of the pain, the difficulty, the challenge, whatever it is emotionally, and you expand. The heart expands. It gets softer. And as it gets softer, as it gets more vulnerable, more courage shows up. It sounds so like, how can that be? Contradictory. But it's true. I wasn't planning on saying this, but maybe there's something to what's coming to me, is that I'm going to ask you to have the compassion for yourself. So sorry, I got to take a break here for a second. So I'm in a bamboo building in Bali, right? This is made of bamboo, and just on the other side of the wall is the street and all the scooters. It's a Sunday here, but it's still kind of loud, so I apologize for the background noise. So allow yourself, give yourself the greatest gift of tuning into your own pain, your own sense of limitation, the longing for something more that is yet still unrequited. Allow yourself to feel that. Give yourself the gift of being imagine your perfect imagination of the perfect divine parent, mother, and be that for yourself around your longing to live the life that you came to live. Allow yourself to feel that pain, because that pain will break open that heart that's closed off from the possibility of actually having that for yourself. Allow it to put a crack in that heart, because in that crack, courage can emerge. I hope that makes sense. Kind of makes sense to me, but I wasn't planning on saying that. So I just really want to encourage you to take the risk, to follow that lead in yourself, that pull, and do something, and do something, and do something. Little steps, little steps, little steps, do something. And one of those somethings is to dare to have the courage to check in with yourself. Where am I at with this thing? This thing that won't leave me alone, and maybe I don't know what it is. Where am I at with that? How does it feel? Because you're giving it the permission to express itself more. Follow that. And if you want help, you want support, reach out to me. This is what I do. So the story, my own story, is still unfolding, but it's a story that's been playing out my entire life. And with each chapter comes expansion, comes new knowledge, comes new growth from inside, and then that time seems to come to an end at some point, and then it's time to move on. Maybe there's something in your life that has had its time, it's served its purpose, and now it's time to move on from it. That's a real challenge. But your heart can show you the way. And sometimes you need help. Sometimes you need support. I would love to be that for you. Reach out to a friend. Comment below in the YouTube comments, and let myself and other people reach out to support you. So if you found this helpful, I invite you to push like, to subscribe, to share the video, and I want to send you all my love and support as you dare to take up the quest of your life. Because if this message resonates for you, this is what you came for. And it's time. It's time. The world needs the unique genius that lives inside of you. That you came here to bring outside of all the limitation that's covering it up. And the heart can show you the way. So I invite you to take up your destiny, take up your quest with heart and with courage. And I wish you the very best. So until next time, bye for now.